I'm Jeff. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. I just want to let y'all know I went through drug court. I graduated just about a year ago. I usually don't write things down and read it, um, but when I started this program, I had to get honest with myself and figure out how I got to this point where I got into drug court and into my recovery. So this is something I wrote right from the beginning if I was struggling. Uh, I hope y'all sit and listen to this. I'm going to be very transparent about some things that happened in my life when I finally decided to surrender. Right now, I want to tell you a little about your journey to the future. This is me talking to the addict me. There are some things you must know and do to abstain from drugs and alcohol. If if you think life is going to be all peaches and cream, you better change that thought now and have a plan to live life on life terms. Your recovery has to come first and foremost before everything else going on in your life. You must keep God in your life, no exceptions. God and only God can and will guide you through your trials and tribulations you're going to encounter. I promise if you do this and put your faith in God, put action in your faith, you won't be disappointed. I'm here to tell you the life I'm living right now is our dream. I know because I'm living it, but only if you abstain from drugs and alcohol. So if you're undecided at this point to use or not to use, let's look back in time and relive some of your past life and your addiction. Jeff, do you remember the first time you stuck a needle in your arm? I do. That's when life ended and hell started. Now let's take a look even closer. Do you see it? Do you see the pattern of your addiction spiraling out of control, getting worse every day, becoming unmanageable? The fight within you, losing everything you worked for piece by piece. Can you see it? If not, let's get a little more personal. How about your daughters being born? When you brought Rebecca home from the hospital, when you walked in the bathroom to find your oldest daughter sitting on the floor with a mouthful of pills, only to turn around and go back to the hospital to have her stomach pumped so she wouldn't die. Then the lectures and the looks you got from the nurses and doctors being belittled, making you feel like the piece of shit that you were. Now let's talk about your son, Nick. You were there while he was growing up. He had a mom. He had a dad. You gave him everything a boy could ever want. All those materialistic things. But you never gave him you, your time, your affection, your emotions, your love. Instead, you showed him you were an alcoholic, a junkie, a drug addict, and worst thing of all, a drug dealer. I say that because he thought he could follow in your footsteps, and now he's in prison for dealing drugs. Now let me remind you what you missed out while your kids were growing up, the special moments you were supposed to cherish, their first words, first steps, first birthdays, their first everything, walking your daughter down the aisle. at their weddings, the father-daughter dance, your grandchildren being born, watching them grow up in all their firsts, looking at the last time you can't get back, all because of your addiction. What a shame. Are you still thinking about drinking and or sticking a needle in your arm? Let's take a look and see if this will rattle your cage. In case you don't want to remember, I'm going to tell you. Let's start with the person that loved you the most and did everything in her power to help you time and time again with your addiction, your mom. Do you remember stealing from her all the material things, but even worse, stealing her trust, her faith in you, her love, her emotions, and her life that she gave up for you? The tears of love that she shed when she told you to gather all your belongings you had there and leave, then told you don't ever come back, not even on her property or she'll call the cops. Are you proud? I'm not. How about your dad passing away from alcoholism? The call you got, your brother telling you he wouldn't make it through the night. You used excuse after you couldn't make it to go be by your dad's side, accept the truth. You're too busy sticking a needle in your arm and drinking. Way to go, Jeff. How about your brother Craig that passed away from alcoholism? You didn't even go to his funeral. Again, the needle and alcohol came first. You still don't get it, do you? So listen up. That's right, Christine, your son's mom. Oh, I got your attention now, don't I? Your soulmate, the person you love more than life itself. The phone rang. It was your son, Nick. All you heard him say, Mom's dead. He went to wake her up, and she was dead. Your whole world stopped. You couldn't see. Everyone around you disappeared. There was silence. All the surrounding noise went away. You couldn't breathe. There was no oxygen in there. It felt like your life ended, but it didn't. You drank and shot up some more to take away the pain. But all that pain never went away. So stop and think. Don't be stupid. Don't leave your son and daughters without a dad, your grandkids without their grampy. They don't need that pain. Speaking of pain, let's touch base on that. The pain of being dope sick, the suicide attempts, the overdoses, the surgeries. The list goes on and on. Think about it. Remember now, there was never a good day. So let's get back to when I said hold that thought. It was about relapsing. If you're about to drink or stick a needle in your arm, stop. Don't do it. You're about to kill me and our dreams. If you have already relapsed, call 911 now and take advantage of the anonymity program this very second. If you don't, you won't have time to play the tape back. It's about to get real quick. The clock is ticking. And when time runs out, you won't be able to dial 911. There won't be no one there to help you as you take your last breath. Your light flashes before your eyes. It's over. You're dead. I told you. You wouldn't like the way this story ends. Last chance. What's it going to be? And that's when I got into drug court. And it was truly a blessing. I embraced everything they offered me, any type of help, and I worked hard to change me so I didn't have to drink and drug. I thank y'all for listening. I hope this touched some of y'all. If I can do this, you can do this. I promise. Thank you.